Alright guys, this is an instructional video for the Cyclone V2. I couldn't find anywhere on YouTube, anywhere that's shown people of how they've done it or anything like that, only unboxing, which is no help 21. So I thought I'd show you what I've done so far. Now, going off the instructions, the first thing it tells you to do is to find a dry suitable location for the alarm. So what I've done, this is a srad Gsxr 600. I've put it in the back. This is the box here with all the electronics in it. I've got the siren just there, stuck on there. And then, right, so what it tells you to do first of all is obviously after you located it, get the one yellow wire to the left position feed and the one on the right position feed for the indicators. Now what I've done is obviously the wire, the indicator loom comes along into the back. I'm just showing this torch here, you have to bear with me because it's iPhone and stuff. And this one's for the right side. Basically, you've got your red and your black wire. There you go. And what you've got to do is these two wires are from my indicators. The solid black one for me is positive. So what I've done is I've soldered all my joints as well. Put the yellow and the positive for the indicator onto the positive from the wiring loom. And the black on its own, the earth one, just goes onto the indicator, and that's it. I've done that on both sides, but the other one's tucked away down there somewhere. So, you know, that's that one done. And these yellow wires follow right the way down into like a wiring loom for you to get for the alarm down here to where the battery is. And then I've got my black and red, off the wiring loom for the power. It's directly onto the battery with your 15 amp fuse. Also, you've got a bunch of wire here, which comes up to your little LED light thing to show that your alarm's on. That's simple. That's all just done like that. And then, right, so once you've done that, it then goes on to the first part's a piece of piss, to be honest. Then it becomes a bit more awkward because of the way they word stuff. What they want you to do is you've got to get the pink and the brown wire and the grey wire up to the ignition, up to where the fuse box is, and that's mine down there, up there. But what I've done is from the wiring loom that comes out from the alarm. Here's the wires down here. I've put the pink, the grey and the brown all together, and I've run it down the side of the bike underneath the petrol tank, etc. And I'll just come around the other side. And what I've done is I've had to extend them, so they've turned out to do different coloured wires now. But the pink and the brown are these two black ones, and the grey one turned into the red one. I don't know if you can just see it there. And what they want you to do, the way they word it, is you've got to connect the brown and the pink wires to the live side and the grey wires to the dead side. And this is on the fuse in here for your ignition. Now they tell you to start the bike up, pull out one fuse at each time, and then once the bike cuts out, you'll know which one the fuse is. But you know, I've got it all written on the side down there, telling me what it is. But when it comes to them telling me to do the pink and the brown on the live side and the grey on the dead side, after testing there where that bit there, where my ignition fuse is, one side's obviously live, which was the right hand side, and one side was dead. And I looked underneath to where the wire is that connects to the fuses, and there's nothing on the left hand side, but there's wires on the right hand side. So what they actually are trying to tell you is, it says in brackets that some fitters cut the output wire and put the pink and the brown on the side that goes into the wiring loom for the rest of the bike, and the grey one on the side of the fuse box. So what I've done basically is the grey that come from the wiring loom from the alarm, which turned into red. I've plugged on the top, so I took the fuse out, put a little connector on there, and put it on the right hand side, which is where the wire comes out from underneath. And then underneath, let's move that one. What I've done is the two black ones I've put into a connector block just there, which make it into a single wire, which then have gone all the way around underneath to the live wire that comes under the fuse box to the right hand side, and I've put another connector in there and connected that to that wire. So you got basically the pink and the brown are coming underneath to the wire that's coming straight out, and then I've taken the fuse out and put the grey, which has turned into red, on the right hand side of the fuse, which is where the wire from underneath goes to. So there's nothing on the left hand side, it's just like a blank, so I'm assuming that's where the fuse makes a bridge or whatever for it to work. I think that's a better option rather than cutting it, because if you go wrong, then, well, you're fucked really. And after that, you've got to find the little blue wire, the starter relay one, which is there, you can see it. For me, what I did was I went and got a CD for my manual, and there you go, starter relay, which is there, goes up to there. And what you got to do is, mine was one black wire. I don't know if you can see it tucked down in there. No, mine was one black, which is obviously the earth. Two red, which was alive, and I can't remember what the other colour it was. It was like a green, but that was the live feed that you got to plug the blue into, and that was telling me that was done. Now, the blue one is for the remote start. Now, as far as I got, when you press the two lightning bolts, is that far. It won't start up, and the reason being is because they want you. I phoned up. Hang on. Yeah, I phoned up, and what I've got to do, is because it's got an automatic, a built-in immobiliser, sorry, from Suzuki. But what they wanted me to do was buy a 100 ohm resistor, and coming out here, out of my ignition, down to the bottom, into this loom here, right in front of me. There's some wires in there, and I've got a bridge, 2 wires in there, to override the immobiliser that's already built in. Immobiliser's already built in. And then to do, because you have to, push in the clutch to get the engine started. Apparently there's 2 wires just coming out underneath there, and you've got to connect those 2 up together to get rid of the clutch sensor. And that, they told me, will then have it ticking over and going over. Apart from that, yeah, the alarm's pretty good. I've had no troubles with it. Also, when it comes to the fuse bit, where you're doing the grey and pink wire, you're going to leave the fuse out, which they said to me it was quite a common mistake because I left it in, and the immobiliser part of it wasn't working. But that's about it. I mean, it's pretty basic what I've shown you, but that's as far as I got. I was going to do a video while I was doing it, but I couldn't be bothered. It pretty stressed me out to start off with, to be honest. But it took me about an hour to fit all in all, I think. And once I get my resistors and stuff through, then I'm going to be doing the clutch side of it. Cheers.